Good morning again, people of God. Good morning again. Oh, glory, hallelujah. It's such a peaceful morning. I woke up and got my ginger tea with some green tea. I got a green tea bag mixed in here with a ginger mixed drink with honey. Oh, what a way to start the morning with pouring something hot down. It's so good for the ginger. Green tea is good to detoxify. It's good for the digestive system. You know what I want to say, people of God? I'm going to sip on my tea. As I sit here, sip on my tea, and then I'm going to get on my coveralls and go outside and start my Sunday morning work, my Sunday chores. I got chores to do. Got to get the chicken coops organized and all of that. And you know what I want to say as I sit here and just reflect on life? You will always have, and there will always be a difference of actions, thinking, of those who are productive and those who are unproductive. And when you are someone who is very productive, you try to stay in your own lane. You're not perfect, but you stay in your own lane, and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, and you get things done. What needs to be done, you get it done. You cannot be a type of person that look for trouble. You could be focusing on your own lane, but you gotta keep your strong arm ready. Stay in position and keep your bat back and hit them balls that come at you sometimes. Hit them right back out into the field and try to hit a home run. Try to knock them over the fence and keep on moving and keep on doing what you got to do. And what I mean by that is, you know, sometimes you draw there are people that'll sit back and watch you what you're doing, and they people feel some type of way sometimes, or they feel like they're missing out on something. We can all get there if we allow ourselves to. If we fall into the trap of comparing ourselves with other people. The portion that's on somebody else's plate might not be the same portion that's on your plate. You don't know what that person's appetite is like. You don't know what their life is like. So sometimes I often say we fall into the trap of comparing ourselves with other people. That's a dangerous place to be in, because then that is where you find, or you see the secret competition. That is where that comes about. The secret competition. That is where envy comes about. That is where hatred, jealousy comes about. But when you are so productive sometimes, and you get tunnel vision on what you got to do, you may not have time to entertain some of the people that you used to entertain, and those folk may get angry because they're not being productive. They're unproductive. And then when they call you and they can't get you, sometimes people leave you nasty messages, stuff like that. you know they just not the same way that you are. Your life is totally different, and it's okay. Sometimes we grow apart from people, but the issue comes in is when you grow apart from somebody, or you have to cut somebody off, or you have to draw the line, set boundaries in place so that you can maintain peace in your own life. Sometimes you may have to hit some of them balls at the ballpark that come at you, and they may come fast. You may get some slow balls, you may get some curve balls, you may get some fast balls. You got to be able to hit them things back and just keep on going. I like to say move around certain things. Think it not strange when people shy away from you, you know, um, or they feel like they have this sense of entitlement, like you have to do this for them because they see you doing things for other people, or doing things that you're called to do, or that your spirit lead. But there's some people who want to extract from you, and they did not pour into you. We got to be mindful not to let people who didn't pour into us come and keep extracting from us, because all that does, it makes us weaker. It pulls us down. you know um we need to be poured into as well. We need to be, encouraged as well. We need to be supported in certain aspects of life as well. And you will have people who don't pour into you, who don't uh, even call to ask you how your day been, who just don't care, but they feel like they're entitled to a certain gift that you have. They're entitled to get your help in certain areas. They're entitled to certain things about your life. And that's not healthy, you know? And so when you set up boundaries and you try to maintain your little life, you'll be hearing all kind of little chatter going on. You'll be hearing, even some people may start little different rumors and stuff about you, simply because they can't compare, or they no longer relatable in your life anymore. They can't relate to your mindset anymore. Even when you come around some people, you're so far outgrown some people. Not that you're looking down on anybody, but you've been studying, you've been growing in God, you've been accomplishing things in life. You have a new perspective about how you want your future to be. You're making different changes in your life. You're doing so much work, and sometimes while you're doing work, putting your hand to the plow, you know and not just physical, spiritual work too. Growing in Christ, walking this walk with Christ, that takes a lot of spiritual work, because you got to get up and you got to be praying. You have people that be sending word curses against you. Have just so much different things that you have to do, and that sets you apart from a lot of people that were familiar with you, once could relate to you, but they weren't there putting in the same work. They were not there encouraging you. They were not supporting you. And some of you, you've been supporting these people for so long, so many different years. You've been the go-to person, you've been the resource, and now you see the one that you poured so much into, they ain't got nothing that could give you back out of that. You probably can't even hold a 10-minute productive conversation with some of these same people. You're so far grown, so far apart, and because they keep trying to be related to you, they don't want to take nothing from you. They don't want to listen to you now. They still try to lead you, or they try to dictate your life. They try to pour into you, but you're rejecting that because you're so far above where they're at. You grew and they stayed the same. And so what they're trying to do is throw what's in them all up to you, and it's falling back down, and there's a riffraff there. The life of the productive and the unproductive. And it's not really about money or material things. This is just about growth. It's just about growth. When you have outgrown some people because you've been working on yourself and you're doing your internal work, you picked up so many different skills in life. Some people never wanted to learn those things that you took the time to learn. They laughed at you. They criticized you. Why are you doing that? Or why are you doing this? Always why? And then now all your skills is paying off for you. All that time you put in being laughed at, you kept your head low, you stayed down. And you still don't consider yourself up, because you probably ain't reached some of the levels that you want to reach yet. But you see people switching up, acting funny, people who you poured into, they can't even relate to you. It's always a quick argument, people getting nasty with you. Why? Because your productivity and the favor of the Father that's on your life, how you have grown, people can't relate to that if they have not done their internal work, And I was talking to a young man Friday at work. He was sharing some things with me. He said, I see you coming and going, blah, blah, blah. He was impressed by, a lot of the things he had heard about what I do. One of my big brothers was talking to him about me. And he was sharing me him and his wife. He said, "Man, I got myself right on right track with God. Me and my wife, I'm married." He said, "I do right by God. I put by God first." He said, "Our hands be blessed." He got so many different levels of businesses that he's building, and he's starting small, but his business is doing so good. He built him a car wash. They got other things that he's involved in. His wife got her stuff going that she started. They support each other, and he was like his mom. They used to be so close. His mama is hating on him, and he just started talking. So I was trying to figure out where the conversation was going. But as he kept talking, I could see where it was heavy on. Like, even though he was out doing stuff, getting stuff done, working, it was heavy on him. Like his mama call him and expect to get stuff from him. And some women can be like that when they see you married or they got a son. They interfere. They try to compete with that wife to let that woman know, yeah, that may be your husband, but that's my son. Some women call their son over to do favors or different things like that. Every woman want to be the head of her castle, and every woman deserves to be the only queen of her castle. You see what I'm saying? you know and so he was talking about that in different situations he was dealing with or whatever. So I just encouraged him, well, what came to my spirit, and I'm not going to go in details about that, but I just encouraged him of how to kind of navigate around his mama and stuff like that, and from my perspective, my opinion based on what he shared. And so what I want to share is like sometimes the level of productivity or success that you're reaching in your in your life, sometimes you've outgrown the people who reared you even much. Sometimes you outgrow the friends that we outgrow the friends that we outgrow certain situations and circumstances, and we become unrelatable, or people try to pull us back to where we were, or they try to compete with new people that we're bringing in our lives. And we have to, set boundaries in place and move around all of that. We have to continue to do those things that benefit us, even if that means coming out from amongst and being separate. We have to continue to do the things that are going to help us on our journey, and accept the people in our lives, or give our ear to the people who actually build and increase our spirit and not pull us back down. So I see that where it becomes of those who are productive, those who are unproductive versus those who are productive. Or you can also relate it back to the light versus darkness. Those who give themselves over to, the dark one of the world and his ways, they will be used to frustrate the purpose of those who of the light. And they keep coming to try to throw daggers and stuff at you. But like I said, once you keep your swing arm strong and you start hitting them balls back, whatever come your way, that's what builds our strength. If somebody throws a if you running on the track and all of a sudden somebody slings a hurdle in front of you, and you got to muster up the strength to jump over it, you use your muscles, it's going to keep building you. And as you keep running your race, when somebody throws another hurdle, you keep building up the strength to jump over that hurdle. All of that does is keep making you stronger and stronger and stronger. And you should never try to um please people, because pleasing people could just lead you to a path of destruction, backwardness and lack. Some people will never be satisfied. Some people will never be satisfied. And we all have to make our own decision to do what's best for us in this life. you know and so at this point in life, I just see that, for me personally, I find so much peace, and joy. I get down sometimes, I did hard times, but not because I'm just a down person. I'm normally a jolly person who likes to laugh, who likes to crack jokes and stuff like that. But then there are situations and circumstances, and sometimes you encounter spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare is very real, and then sometimes you get down because you see people who you've had high respect for, high regards for, they start flipping, or they turn out to be a not so good person, or they turn out to be kind of shady, or they turn out to be the ones, as they see your elevation, they start letting the devil use them to put some of them hurdles in your way, and it be shocking. And sometimes that takes strength out of you, when folk do certain things like that, depending on who they are, you know. And so I think that there is safety in staying in your own lane, um, not giving folk too much information about you, and just having resilience, a thick skin, keeping yourself built up in the word of God, and being able to swing so hard that you knock all them balls, whether they come in fast, slow, or curve, high or low, that you be able to knock them back, knock them into the field, knock a home run, hit a home run, and just keep on going. And it's going to keep making you stronger. The more balls you hit, the more hurdles we jump over, it's just going to keep on making us stronger. People don't want to put in the same work that you put in sometimes, but they don't want to do the same things that you've done. And so when they see you reaching certain levels that they've never reached, or that they want to do, there's some people who want stuff handed to them. There's some people who want stuff handed to them. And a lot of times you see people who had stuff handed to them, you know, their lives turn out to be in shambles. Look at the situation where we going through with the son of the commander in chief. He's had life handed to him on a silver platter, but turned out to be someone who uses drugs, who did a lot of illegal things. And many of you and I, a lot of us, we came from nothing. We literally had to get it out the mud. We literally had to work from nothing, from the dirt, from the ground up. And there's some folk who had everything handed to them, and they don't know how to appreciate some things today, or they they didn't spend their time learning new skills and building things. They had everything handed to them, and they always spent their time trying to hustle in a way to just get over people and get fast money, get things in a fast way. They didn't take time to learn nothing. They can't do nothing, so they get older in life and realize that, what can I really do? What skills do I really have? You know, and then they start looking at somebody like you, or they start looking at people who took another kind of route and took their time and learned, took their time, stopped and learned a lot of things. And then they start wanting to secretly envy you or secretly compete against you or watch you and try to copy what you're doing so they can try to do it better. And then when they make mistakes, they get mad at you as if you were the one who said, here, come, let me show you. And then you failed them, but you never even knew they were trying to secretly copy you. It's just so much. Stop, Mate. Stop. But there is safety in us. I'm going to get up because she must got to go out. You just got to be resilient and keep going. Whatever you do, keep going. You're going to always have people who oppose you. You're going to always have people who try to come after you on any kind of level whenever you're doing something good. You're going to have people that try to break your spirit. And that should make you want to fight even harder. You'll have people try to shut your mouth. And that should make you want to open it even more. Don't never quit. Don't never give up. That's all I want to say this morning. Keep going. There's always going to be the unproductive versus the productive. But don't never quit. Don't never give up. Have a blessed day. If nobody told you that they love you today, your little country bumpkin sister is telling you, I love you. There's only one of you in this world. Make your life count. Do everything that God has put on the inside of you. Like my elder said, he said, when he die, he going to die on E. Die on E. And forget the naysayers. Keep that arm strong so you can hit every ball that comes out of you out of the park. Hit home runs and keep jumping over them hurdles. It's only going to make you stronger.